Hi, and welcome. Kelly Savage with the Butterfly Thoughts Podcast, and with an After the Sermon Series episode. Thank you for joining me as we take our transformation journey day by day, thought by thought, and we're doing it together. Today, the sermon was during a walk with me and God. Oh, and my dog. I talk to my dog Loki all the time in our walks. But sometimes, like today, I was reflecting and talking to God, praying and reflecting. Loki was just my loyal sidekick. You see, I am one that believes sermons can be taught anywhere, at any time, and sometimes by the oddest circumstances. Sometimes lessons are taught with just you and God working things out, being convicted or taught by the Holy Spirit. Sometimes through people that you wouldn't even think would be used to teach you. Sometimes children. Sometimes children are the best and the biggest lesson givers. Or perhaps moments that are just powerful. Like an aha moment that changes your perspective that you didn't even know you needed changing. Or in church, the traditional way. Possibilities of lessons in our life that we can learn are plenty. Perhaps the main ingredients needed are open hearts, a willingness to learn, seeing different perspectives, and humility. Humility to know that we only reach perfection when we go home to heaven and be in His full presence. In the meantime, here on earth, all we do is just keep on learning. So in my sermon today, God and I were having a conversation about expectations. Expectation meaning in the dictionary is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Okay, we're going to unpack this a little bit. I was hearing a lot of expectations from people recently. Christmas season is upon us, New Year's Eve, family gatherings, gifts and gifts galore. So a lot of people were talking about their expectations. I know many have increased expectations with the holidays. But I also heard a lot of those expectations that weren't met. I mean, a lot of them. And I was hearing a lot in the conversations as far as the emotions that go with unmet expectations. So it got me reflecting on expectations and what they do in our daily life, in our work life, home life, relationships, and even expectations that we place on ourselves. Expectations can be realistic, and quite often, they can become unrealistic. Expectation in itself are not bad, and it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have any. They can be conscious, and we know exactly what we are expecting. They can be subconscious, and when they are not met, we can become very unsatisfied, angry, frustrated. Or how about disappointed, hurt? Okay, how about the expectations that are on ourselves, and when we don't meet them, we become very down on ourselves and reflect it in our self-talk, which affects our minds, our thoughts, our daily life. In marriage, expectations can be placed on our spouse of how something should go, what we need, and how it should be met. Expectation of how our spouse should act in a certain circumstance, but yet it wasn't communicated. And when it isn't met, our spouse doesn't even know what was expected in the first place. Come on, we have all been there in some type of way with some type of relationship. Expectations can be too high, too low. There can be too many, unrealistic, or realistic. Important thing is we know ourselves, that we reflect on our expectations that may be conscious or subconscious and affecting our lives, and to give them to God to have His way with our expectations, and humility to give them up if they are an obstacle in our way. I will leave that truth right there, and you can do with it as you desire. Here comes my butterfly thought of the Holy Spirit during the walk. He whispered to me that there are some expectations we can have, that we should have, hold on to, have faith in, and continuously live in hope of. Here are just some of those expectations. God will meet our needs and meet you right where you are at as you open up your heart. He will transform us as we allow. That life will give us troubles, but He will make a way. Jesus even says in the Bible that we will have troubles, but we can expect Him to make a way and have faith in that. You can expect that you will never be alone when you call upon His name. You will have a future, both in this life and in eternity, when you place your faith in Him. And one last expectation for my walk was that Jesus will return. Now, those are some beautiful expectations to hold on to. And my prayer for you is that His Word lead you into expectations that are best for you in your life. Thank you for joining me today. See you next time.